Item 6A is a proclamation declaring the Pacific Electric Railway El Prado Bridge lighting, which is the culmination of the collaboration of the talented people involved in the preservation of our city's history. Tonight we have Andy Perez from Union Pacific Railway, Jamie Ruth Watson, president of the Torrance Historical Society, Shane Swardlow of Chattel Architects, are present in the room, and I'd ask them to join me up here at the podium. Also, Beth Overstreet. The proclamation will be read by my colleagues on the council.
Thank you, Your Honor. Whereas the historic Pacific Electric Railway El Prado Bridge was designed in 1912 by Irving Gill and constructed in 1913 to service the Pacific Electric Railway, which ran from the Columbia Street Mill in Torrance to San Pedro. The bridge was dedicated as a historic landmark in the National Register of Historic Places in 1989. And
whereas, located in the east entryway to the city of Torrance on Torrance Boulevard, the historic Pacific Electric Railway, El Prado Bridge, is a reflection of our city's history and the progress our country has made in transportation. And
whereas, the Southern Pacific Transportation Company, now the Union Pacific Railroad, transferred the title of the historic Pacific Electric Railway El Prado Bridge to the city of Torrance in November 1986. And
whereas the Union Pacific Railroad has shown generous cooperation in the beautification and lighting of this historic bridge by assisting with vegetation removal, providing flagmen during construction of repairs, and waiving the right-of-way fee. And
whereas Krakauer and Associates, Chattel Architects, the Torrance Historical Society, the American Society of Civil Engineers, and the Torrance Citizen Development and Enrichment Committee have all contributed their talents and efforts to beautify, light, and name the historic bridge. And
whereas the City of Torrance recognizes the above-named entities as honorary participants in the Pacific Electric Railway El Prado Bridge beautification for the contributions they have made to our city's historic preservation.
Now therefore, I, Patrick J. Fury, as mayor of the city of Torrance, California, do hereby proclaim the Pacific Electric Railway El Prado Bridge lighting, a memento of the collaboration of all of the talented people involved in the preservation of our city's history, signed this second day of December 2014. Now, the people that are here are not the only people that are with us tonight. We also have a group of people who are actually out at the bridge. I'm told that Mr. Chattel of Chattel Architects, former Councilman Tom Brewer, the former chair of the Citizen Development and Enrichment Committee, William Lawson from the Los Angeles chapter of the American Society of Civil Engineers, and Michael Krakauer of Krakauer and Associates are also part of the group. We also have Janet Payne, who's the third vice president of the Torrance Historical Society, who will be joining us a little bit later tonight from the bridge to say a few words before we light it up. But we have a few of the people here who would like to say a few words. And Mr. Perez, I have you as first.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's truly a pleasure to be here tonight. Talk about a public-private partnership. You know, I have some major territory to cover. I'm in charge of the West Coast ports. I have the ports of LA, Long Beach, Oakland, San Francisco, a lot of cities up north. I did 47 round-trip Southwest airline flights. I fly out next Tuesday to Oakland, so it's fun to be here. I can't believe I'm getting recognition. It's like my first one this year. I brought you guys some gifts. These are Union Pacific Railroad calendars. Our employees take all the photos. It's very competitive. And so I brought Mr. Mayor for your council members. I'll get you guys some more. I have more in my truck, but I wanted to make sure that you had these. And thank you for those kind words. Everything that you guys said was true. We waived all the ROE fees. We waived all the flagging fees. We worked very well with Beth and Leah's over there in the rain over there at the bridge. But we have 33,000 miles of track. We operate in 23 states, 8,000 communities. And I got to tell you, this is the first public-private bridge beautification project we've ever done, just waving everything and rolling out the red carpet for Torrance. So it really says a lot about your community. And also, more importantly, we did it safely. You know, we have active trains that serve customers here in this wonderful city. And I just got to tell you, we did it safely, we pulled it off, and anything you guys need going forward down the road, look forward to working with you guys. It's really exciting to be here tonight. Thank you.
Mr. Swerdlow.
Thank you. My name is Shane Swerdlow. I'm going to talk a little bit about the history. Thanks for having me, and thanks for the opportunity to work on this project. When Irving Gill, the architect of the Pacific Electric Railway, El Prado Bridge, reflected on the California of 100 years ago, he described, "The West has an opportunity unparalleled in the history of the world, for it is the newest white page turned for registration. In California, we have the great wide plains, arched blue skies that are fresh chapters yet unwritten. We have noble mountains, lovely little hills and canyons waiting to hold the record of this generation's history, ideals, imagination, sense of romance, and honesty." At the time, California was in many respects still the Western frontier. However, it was also a place more and more people were calling home. As new Californians moved from traditional red brick colonial buildings in the Northeast and modest wood-clad folk Victorian houses in the rural Midwest, they encountered a land that provided the opportunity to create a new, uniquely California sense of place, or what visionaries like Irving Gill described, a white page for a fresh chapter yet unwritten. Torrance was the perfect laboratory to create the quintessential California city. Early planning efforts began in 1911 when real estate developer Jared Sidney Torrance established the Dominguez Land Company, which purchased 3,000 acres of Rancho San Pedro to build a new town. He brought in the landscape architecture firm of brothers John C. and Frederick Law Olmsted Jr., and architect Irving Gill to design what was being hailed as the modern industrial city between Los Angeles and its harbor. While the city plan emphasized space for industry, equal priority was placed on a picturesque central core where workers and their families lived, the area now known as Old Torrance, oriented along El Prado, a landscape parkway. At the north end of this parkway, the Pacific Electric Railway El Prado Bridge served as a focal point and gateway for the city. Linked to a massive network of Pacific Electric red cars, the bridge also symbolized Torrance's important role in a rapidly expanding region. It embodied Irving Gill's efforts to create a style that respects the heritage of California with iconic arches referencing the state's early Spanish colonial buildings. It simultaneously captured the essence of modernism and industrial innovation with clean lines and extensive use of exposed reinforced concrete. Torrance has grown and matured over the past century, and Irving Gill's blank white pages have been filled with many chapters over time. Nevertheless, the bridge continues to serve as a defining symbol for the city and looks better than ever. On behalf of the team involved in the bridge's preservation and rehabilitation, it has been a pleasure working with this community to preserve the character of such an important place. I'm very excited to see the bridge officially illuminated tonight, articulating its most distinctive features and heightening its role as a civic icon day and night. The city's commitment to preserving the structure helps ensure that our important past continues to be a meaningful part of our present and future. Thank you.
Jamie, would you like to say something?
Quickly, I promise.
Okay.
Thank you. Good evening, City Council members and staff. This has been a project of many years, in fact, decades, and some people count their gray hairs by the progress or no progress of this project. But to see it come to fruition is something that's almost leaving me speechless. No, but I really think that the lighting of this is emblematic of the types of progress of the things that have been happening since the centennial. We're paying attention to our city, we're paying attention to our history and structure, and to the emotions of people here too. But I also think that it's a bright start for the new year for Torrance. Thank you.
I'd like my colleagues from the council to join us down here at the podium. Beth, before we go on with the ceremony, I think on behalf of the council and the city, I want to thank you for all the efforts that you put forward in bringing this to fruition. We couldn't do it without the staff members that we have. And I'm giving you your proclamation, and we'll take a photo shoot. As these guys are coming down here. One more over this side.
Don't take my camera.
You're right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Now, you guys, oops, come on over here.
It went down.
There's some people looking at us over there.
Is there a microphone?
Just a couple. Thanks, everyone. And now we'll go to our crew at the bridge who are out there with some very excited members of the Torrance Historical Society. And they've decided to brave the weather so they can see the new lights in person. Janet Payne, who has been a key supporter of the bridge rehabilitation process, will now say a few words. Any minute now. Okay, Janet, this is Wile E. Coyote here with the box.
Now, we're standing out here in the rain along Torrance Boulevard, and it's raining. I'm standing with former council member Tom Brewer and members of the Torrance Historical Society. The society is very excited tonight. How do you feel, Tom?
I'm excited too.
Oh, good. How do you feel about getting wet?
That's feels like New Year's Eve in New York City.
I guess. And it makes it such a magical evening because the lights that are on now are shining through all the raindrops, and it seems like there's a zillion lights out here already. We've been following the progress of this bridge for many, many years, beginning with when the city was deeded the bridge from the railroad, and now it's just been restored, and at 101 years, it's looking absolutely marvelous. This is a night that we've really waited for. So, Mr. Mayor, if you're ready, we're ready. So get ready and put your finger on that switch, because now you can light up history and light up the night. Down here, we can really see those lights sparkling through the rain. Oh my. We're glad everybody's here.
We're glad we're here.
Wish more of you could be down here at the bridge. This is a really exciting time for everybody in the city. This is our landmark and our logo for the city. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Janet. Thank you, everyone. I guess we can return to the dais now. Wile E. Coyote survived.